Welcome back. Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy. And today's knife is the Purvis Blades Progeny. Adam Purvis is prevalent on Instagram. He used to be into the custom knife making world, and for one reason or another, he got out of it. Now he does, he does some modification. I think he does different clips and stuff for certain knives, fancier clips, fixes clips that don't look right. And this right here is one of his designs in collaboration with Elijah Isham. From what I understand, Elijah helped him with the CAD drawing of this knife. And this is Adam's second design. His first one was the Primordial, really cool clip point blade. Didn't get my hands on that one, but I was able to snag this guy. This is the box that it comes in. Nice design on the box itself. And there you go. The knife was produced in China by Best Tech Knives, and Best Tech is definitely a reputable company. It also comes in this zipper case. This is just a non-branded Best Tech zipper pouch. So if you have one of their knives, you know what the pouch is like. And if you own any Best Techs, you know that their quality is right up there with WE knives, which WE was the one that made his Primordial. So let's dive into it. You have a total length of 7 5/8 inches, so a nice EDC size knife. 3 1/4 inch blade, 3 3/4 inch grip area. Right at 1/2 inch thick, so right there in that average range. It is 1.16 inches wide. The blade stock thickness is 0.14, and the thinness behind the edge at the thinnest portion is 20 thousandths with a 22 degrees per side edge on this one. Let's get an up close look at this guy. You have this nice stone washed main bevels and satin flats. Very nice stone wash on there. A Warncliffe / sheepsfoot blade, more of a Warncliffe blade. Got this nice attractive swedge up here. They did a good job. It's nice and even on both sides. The only billboarding you have is Adam's logo on this side. I love that logo right there. And on this side, you just have the blade steel, which is Bowler M390. Very, very nice quality blade steel. The price tag on this guy is $190. And we're going to see if, think it warrants that price tag by the end. Let's see. You gotta forgive me. I'm running a little cold right here, so I'm a little blah. You have no jimping up top right here, but you do have this deep choil area with the flipper tab that gives you a nice locked in grip right there. Let's close this guy up. You have very minimal flipper tab with some jimping up there to give you some purchase on there. You also have a landing pad for whenever you flip the knife. You have these nice gold anodized, then stone washed titanium scales. Nice decorative pivot that has a Torx T8 construction on the back side. T6 on all your body hardware. You have a 3D milled titanium pocket clip that's anode green, and a full length titanium backspacer that's also the same matching green. They did a good job of keeping those colors consistent. And I really like that stone wash finish underneath that gold. Looks really, really nice. Blade centering is perfect. Let's see. Let's get a good flip on this guy. Now that's one, well, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's look at, they also have a sharpening choil right there. Always nice to see. You have 3D contoured scales, as you can see right here, the rounding. Then another nice touch. I don't know if my camera's gonna pick this up, but the bevel along along the entire knife has been semi-polished, like with a high satin finish. So it gives you a nice contrast. You get that pop of gold. Let's see it. You can see it standing out right there. Very nice little touch. I like how the clip and everything just flows. It like sandwiches itself right here, and you have this cool contrast of colors. Very nice. You have almost perfect 1-to-1 blade to handle ratio. As you can see, couldn't really fit much more blade in there, and you don't have to worry about your fingers touching it because that backspacer comes up, keeping you from contacting that blade. And in the closed position, you're not going to cut yourself, no matter, even in this back portion. It sits down far enough, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's get a good look in the inside. Whoop. You can see that nice skeletonization, and you can, I don't know if you can see that right there. It said this is number 41. I'm guessing these are all numbered. Let's see if I can show you from this side. It's gonna be hard to show you. Well, you just have to take my word. There's number 41 on both sides. So I'm guessing that is the number of the knife. Y'all let me know if you own this knife and you've looked at it in the inside. Your balance point is perfect right here. Oh, if I can hold it right. Hold on, let me get my hand. Yeah, it's right there in that forward choil, right where you want it to be. So it makes this knife feel a lot lighter, meaning it's not heavy by any means. Let's get a quick weight on this guy while I'm talking about it. .68 ounces. That's excellent, especially for being almost an 8-inch knife overall. And not to mention, you have this full-length titanium backspacer. So I don't really mind the backspacer being there. You know, it'd be nice to lighten it up a little bit. But then if you did that, then your knife wouldn't be balanced. So you'll get that same feeling of, you know, how light it would be without it, with it being balanced in hand. Let's see. Let's talk about ergos. In this grip, it's pretty comfortable. I'm not a jimping guy, but if you are, you know, that's something that is lacking. But this little choil area locks me in pretty nicely. In this grip right here, it's pretty comfortable. Your reverse grip, your ninja grip, it's so-so. If you're holding it like this, it's okay. But if you're holding it like this, it's not that comfortable. All your pinch grips are good. This is my favorite grip right there. Pinching on both sides right here. So you can get a nice draw cut like that. Let's throw some size comparisons up here so you can get an idea about how big this guy is. ZTO 609. These two are almost identical in size. It looks like I don't know. Those are really darn close in all dimensions, blade and in handle. Let's get another one. The Benchmade 940. 940 is a little bit longer, not by much, but just a little bit. Let's see. Got the Power 3. And the Power 3 is going to be a little bit, a good bit shorter. And then another one that's really close in size is your Kershaw Blur. Those two are almost identical. The Blur is just a little bit longer, not by much. So, let's talk about a few things that kind of are nitpicks, and one that's more so that bugs me. First off, this is, you know, a pet peeve of mine. The sharpening choil was missed by, I don't know, maybe a 1/16 or maybe even less than that. But you can see how it's coming up on a smile right there. I mean, literally all they would have had to do is pull it up to about right there. Not by much. On this side, it's a little, I don't know, it's about the same. But the knife did come screaming sharp, and I don't know exactly. You probably won't have too much of a smile back here once you sharpen it, but that's just something to note. Something that, you know, super pet peeve of mine. Also, being this a nice EDC blade, I would have loved to see the blade stock just a little bit thinner. It didn't, you know, let's see, comparing it with the Para. So it's almost the same thickness as a Para, and Para to me is like really thick for what it is. Let's see what it looks like on the 0609. I just like nice and slicey blades. So it's about the same thickness as the 0609. Maybe it's a little bit thicker than the 0609. And the 0609's built tough. Let's see what it looks like on side the 940. So that's pretty comparable. So it's not bad by any means. I just like a super slicey blade. They did grind it nice and thin for having the saber grind. They did a good job of thinning it out. You still have that nice point for piercing. Let's see what else I have to talk about. I'm not the biggest fan. This is totally nitpicking. I'm not the biggest fan of the color combo here. I don't know. I would rather see it either all solid or maybe a darker color here. But like I said, that's just a nitpick. And it didn't bother me that much because I did buy this version. So I just love the tones of that gold with that stone wash over there, and it brings off different colors whenever the light's hitting it. Very, very nice. Let's see. This is another small nitpick, and I let somebody else handle this, and they kind of notice it too. It's not terrible, but after a lot of fidgeting, like we all do, being that these two scales are flush, he did add a chamfer on both sides of each of the insides of the scale, and it's kind of slick. I would have liked to see it just maybe a little texturing right there to keep my finger from sliding off on it. I haven't slid off on it much. I've been doing the little claw right there. Not bad whatsoever, but just something that would have been nice to have some kind of texture right there. And I know they couldn't go any deeper because of the lock bar insert. You can see it right there. They would have went into it. I don't know. Or maybe dish out this side some more. Not too sure. I'm not a knife maker, just a critic. Now this is the only thing that was a actual complaint. It wasn't something nitpick or whatever. But I noticed when I was flipping the knife, over and over about 300 times, that I was getting a hot spot on right here. You can see that little dot right there. And that is because whenever they did this chamfer going all the way around, I don't know if it'll show, but let's see. Right here, right there in that line right there, you can actually see a little piece sticking up. It's kind of sharp right there. Yep, you can see it right there. It's kind of sharp, and where those two areas meet up, it's got a nice little point, and that's right where it sits in your hand whenever I'm going to flip it like that. When I'm pushing down, it pushes down into my hand. And that's, like I said, that's only after flipping it hundreds of times a day like we always do. And is it going to be something that's going to bother everybody? Probably not, because, I mean, look at my hands. My hands are not like the average person. So it might not be anything that bothers you. It might not sit, in your hands, it might not sit like that. But just, I mean, it's pretty darn sharp. Let's see if you can hear that. You hear that? It's giving a nice little ring to it. You can see where it's pulling off the skin on the knife right there. And I mean, that's something that I could probably easily fix with a little, 1500 grit sandpaper. And we'll see. Also, ergonomics are really good. But being that it's that 3D contoured and it tapers it in back here, I was cutting up some thicker cardboard just to see how that edge performed. And I noticed it wanting to spin in the hand a little bit. Not terribly bad or anything. It was a good performer though. It did slice well, and it's holding its edge pretty nicely. I'm going to be doing a lot more testing with this guy, and in the full video, I will let y'all know how it holds up. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. Let me know what y'all think about this knife. At the $190 for M390, the 3D contouring, and a design from a custom maker, I think it's a pretty good deal. From what else is out there for, with the premium blade steel and this kind of stuff, you're usually looking at $240, $250. I mean, his primordial model was was a little bit smaller than this guy, I think. Now, it did have some more intricate working on there, but it's almost $100 more than this guy. So I think this is a pretty good deal here, especially if it does it for you. And one more last thing, the flipping action isn't the greatest. It could have definitely, and I'm not one for strong detents, but it could have definitely used a little bit stronger of a detent, and that's something I could easily fix by bending over the lock bar just a little bit. And if I decide to keep this guy, that's probably what I'll do. Mainly because, you know, if it's a dedicated flipper, that's how I want to flip. But you can light switch it, or you can push button it. And I get a little bit better flip from a push button. And if you just pull back really nicely, it comes out. It just doesn't come out with authority. I know Adam does a great job of his geometry of all his stuff, because I've heard a lot of good things about the Primordial and the action on that guy. So let me know what y'all think. Let me know if you have it, what you think about it. Let me know if you have it, if yours is sharp back here, and if it creates a hot spot for you. I like the overall lines, and I like the look of the knife. The price point is right on par. What I think, at least a good bargain. I know it's not cheap, but for what you're getting, I think it's a pretty good deal. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.